So you're thinking about buying a brand new home in Northern Virginia instead of buying a resale home, but you aren't sure exactly what to expect from the process. Buying a brand new home can be really exciting, but it can also be downright overwhelming. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing the key things that you need to look out for in order to make sure it's a smooth and successful experience. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, working, and playing in Northern Virginia, be sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications so that you'll never miss a video. My name is Amanda, and the team and I get calls every single day from people just like you, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, reach out on social, whatever works for you. We've got your back when you're making that move to Northern Virginia. So as I mentioned in today's video, I'm going to be sharing some key items that you should keep in mind when you're going through the process of purchasing a new construction home. First up on that list is representation. And this is one, for some reason, that a lot of buyers overlook or simply aren't aware of when it comes to purchasing new construction. And you can absolutely have exclusive buyer representation. You want an agent that's looking out for your best interests. When you go into a sales office, you are speaking with an agent who is working for the builder and represents the builder's best interest. So you want to get an agent that has experience selling new construction homes, knows where there's room for negotiation, an agent that can help you with the difficult choice of selecting the right lot, the elevation, the floor plan, helping you out when you're going through the process of picking out your options and keeping you on budget, an agent that can help you navigate the contract, the financing, and the inspections that come with new construction. Next up is builder selection. And it's really important to do your research here because the fact of the matter is not all new construction homes are created equal. You're going to want to take the time to not only research different builders in your area, but different neighborhoods and the amenities that those neighborhoods offer. Do not skip this step. It's very important when you're going through the process of deciding on purchasing a new construction home to really research that builder, decide if it's someone you essentially want to do business with. I recommend going online, reading through reviews from past customers with that builder, and ask your agent as well to get some insight on how that builder does business. Number 3 is the timeline. And when it comes to new construction, this is very different from purchasing a resale home in that new construction homes are going to take anywhere from 8 to 12 months to be delivered, unless they're a quick delivery, and that's a different story. But on average, if you are going through the process of selecting your lot, floor plan, options, etc., you're looking at, in Northern Virginia, an 8 to 12 month delivery time frame. Now, depending on the neighborhood or the size of the home, sometimes it can be longer than that. So you want to factor that in terms of timing for your move, and understand that when you are having a new construction home built, there can be delays. It's just part of the process. So you also want to have a plan in place, both timing and financially, if you find that you need temporary housing, if maybe your closing date gets pushed back, or if you need storage for all of your personal belongings in order to adjust for a delayed closing. Next up is the deposit. And every builder has different deposit requirements. It's not a one size fits all in terms of them all being the same. But I would say in general, in Northern Virginia, you're looking at a 5% deposit based off the sale price. And then some builders also have a second deposit requirement that comes after you've been to the design center and selected your options. And that can be another 5%, which is based off of how much you spend at the design center. This is more than you would put down in terms of a deposit on a resale home. In most cases, You can always increase your deposit on a resale home if you're in a competitive situation to make your offer stand out a bit more. But it's really something that you want to prepare for when you are purchasing new construction, is that you are most likely going to have a much larger deposit, somewhere in the 5% range based on your sale price. Next is the financing component, and the majority of builders, at least here in Northern Virginia, work with preferred lenders. So that's always going to be a question that you want to ask, or better yet, have your agent ask, to see what type of incentives are tied to, if any, working with their preferred lender. Typically, the incentive will either be in the form of a closing cost credit to you, or possibly a credit at the design center to go towards options that you select. It can vary, or it may even be a combination of the two. And you always want to ask that up front, because sometimes it can be a large sum of money. And while you're always free to work with any lender that you prefer, a lot of times if you opt to go with your own lender, they're not going to be able to compete with the incentive the builder is offering with working through their preferred lender. So you have to make a decision of what's more important to you. Number 6 is lot selection. And here in Northern Virginia, you can expect to see lot premiums. The lot premiums really vary because, quite frankly, some lots are far more appealing than other lots depending on how the community is set up. For example, if you have a lot, even if it's the same size as one you're comparing it to, if it backs to trees and the other lot backs to another house, you're going to see that the lot premium for the lot that backs to trees has a higher premium. Now, that said, think about your lifestyle, what you're looking for in the home that you're going to be living in. If you prefer to be surrounded by trees in your backyard, then you can expect to pay a little bit more. Or you could look at other lots that vary in sizes, depending on how much of a lot premium you're comfortable with. There is a lot of questions to go through when it comes to making your lot selection, and this is an area where an agent who has a lot of experience in new construction can really help you narrow down your choices and make the best decision, both financially and for your lifestyle. Next is selecting options, and one of the biggest benefits of purchasing a brand new home is that you, of course, get to make selections that are based off of your taste and your liking. And that is such a fun process. It's a great experience, but there are a couple pitfalls to keep in mind. When you go into that design center, you already want to have a budget in mind of what you're working with, because all of these upgrades can add up very quickly and you can find yourself out of budget without even realizing it. So when you're going in to select your options, make sure you have your budget set and then work from there in order to determine what you can add, and you may have to take some things away at the end of the session. Something else to think about if you are facing having to choose between different options in order to stay within your budget, always think about resale. And I know that's difficult to do because you're just in the process of buying your home, haven't lived in it yet. But you always want to think about resale and whether or not you're going to be able to get any ROI on the options that you're selecting. Number 8 is inspections. And this is another one where a lot of times buyers simply don't know that they need to get inspections done. It's a brand new house, right? Why would you need an inspection? Bad idea, huge pitfall. You absolutely need inspections on a brand new home. Yes, the county code enforcers will be coming in to check and make sure that things are done to code, but that does not mean that the house is perfect or doesn't have areas that need improvement or things have been overlooked. And when you're buying a new construction home, you're going to have at least 2 inspections, or you should. Hire a third-party inspector, get some recommendations from your agent, do some research online. Get somebody in that can not only do your pre-drywall inspection to look at everything before the walls are all closed up, but then you're gonna have them back again to do a second inspection after the house has been completed. That gives you the opportunity to then take the findings from the inspection and deliver them to the builder to get any issues corrected. Last is your walkthroughs. And this is another area of new construction that is very different from purchasing a resale home, in that you are going to be doing what we call a blue tape walkthrough here in Northern Virginia. I'm not sure if the terms vary in other areas, but a blue tape walkthrough here is typically done anywhere from 7 to 14 days before you're set to go to closing. And this is your opportunity to go through your brand new home and mark any cosmetic items that need to be addressed. And this process takes anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, depending on how large your home is. You don't get to do any of that if you're purchasing a resale home. It's kind of like if you were buying a used car, it's going to have imperfections because it's used. But when you're buying a brand new home, if there's, a little dent in the wall or a scuff on the baseboard, that's absolutely fair game to mark with your blue tape so that the builder can then come back, correct these cosmetic items and prep for your final walkthrough before you go to closing. Your final walkthrough will typically be literally right before you are headed to go sign your paperwork to close. And all those items that you marked from your blue tape walkthrough should be taken care of. So you're walking into a house that is darn near perfect in terms of a cosmetic perspective. The other thing that I recommend when you are having your blue tape walkthrough, bring that home inspection report that you had done so you can go through each item with your construction manager and make sure that those have been corrected. Buying a brand new construction home is a really exciting and it can be a very fun process, as long as you know that these things are items that you need to keep in mind to make sure that everything goes smoothly. As always, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, reach out on social, whatever works for you. We've got your back when you're making that move to Northern Virginia. And until next time, we hope to show you around town.